Hola, estudiantes. Welcome to the fourth and final of the series of introductory videos. And this again this is applicable to Spanish 111 as well as Spanish 112, both in person and hybrid and asynchronous. But today I'll be using the asynchronous spring 2022 as the example. So picking up from where video number 3, which was getting logged in and signed up to the course. I'm still signed in as sample student, and I have been granted a grace period. So now I have 13 days left, and you'll see up here when you log in, if you're using a grace period, it gives you a warning. It says you do not have up here access to complete this course. The access will expire on the 24th of January, but the course goes until May. Okay, so again, you have to get your code and redeem that here. You would redeem that here. So yeah, what I'm going to go over today is just the nuts and bolts of the Supersite, pointing out the important things and show you a little bit about where to access things and how to do certain activities. Okay, so to get into the course, you hover over the textbook and you click on it, and this will take you to what's called the dashboard. Now, on the dashboard, you typically have 2 dates here. I think sometimes there might be 3 if you have overdue work. It'll be up here, but you always want to focus on the first date, the upper thing here, right? The first one that gives you here. So this is telling you that these are 12 activities. So I'm here, right? 12 activities are due on February 6th. Now, this date will be different depending on what semester you're taking this, but that'll be it'll be relevant to the semester you're in. So again, this is for the Spanish 112 asynchronous class. So the first group of activities are due on Sunday, February 6th by 11. Over here, you can see by 11:59. Here it tells you that's an estimated of 1 hour and 53 minutes total. Okay, so some of these things include just looking at videos and presentation materials, etc. Okay. It also usually gives you a day ahead. So this is telling you the next group of activities is due on Sunday, February 13th, estimated 2 hours and 1 minute, due by 11:59 p.m. And there's a quiz in there as well. So you can see down here that the quiz, it shows you the quiz, but it's not yet available, but it tells you that it becomes available on the 7th at 12 a.m. All right, so you have the whole week to complete it. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So a couple things here. If you're ready to start your assignments, you can just click on start here and it'll take you to the very first one. And this little side window tells you all of the various things that you'll be doing in this set of assignments. Okay. The nice thing about the Supersite is you can hop off anytime you want when you're done, and it will save where you left, and you can just pick up right there. Okay. So if you want to get rid of that sidebar, you just exit out. If you want to see that again, it's always under the assignment list. So you click on that, right? Click on that, and it goes away or it comes back. And also a few other things up here that are important. This always tells you that pages that these activities correspond to in the textbook. So it's a good idea to have this open. If you just click on it, it'll open up the electronic version of the textbook. Okay, and then the electronic, you can X this out down here. You can make this just one page if you want by clicking here. You can zoom in, zoom out, etc. And here you can go all around the entire textbook. Okay, so it's a good idea to have these pages open as you're working, because you might want to look at the vocabulary, etc. Okay, so you might just collapse that and have that down below. Also, if you click on info, it's just going to tell you where you are, right? So it's going to tell you the name of the chapter. This is Las Vacaciones, Selección, tell you when it's due, the grading, and any sort of, again, the textbook and a dictionary and stuff. So there's all kinds of help. If you want to go back, you can click on return to dashboard. That's going to take you to where we were before. Okay, so if you click on start, it's going to take you, say it skipped ahead because it assumed that we had done that activity, but we actually hadn't. So we could go back here by clicking on the assignment list and then clicking on, actually, how do we get back to that? Maybe it's not going to let us do that because it thinks we already did that. So in that event, if you need to go back, you can go back to the dashboard, go up to content up here, click on activities. And then over here, you want to scroll to the chapter we're working on, which is so we're in lesson 5. And that first one was here, right? So it tells us these two were viewed. You can see over here, it says status. But if we want to do it again, we just click on it and it'll take us right there. So this was that page that we saw. Right, and here, these are just, this is vocabulary. So here you're going to just practice listening to this stuff. So you click on this and you'd hear it say el aeropuerto. You could turn it into English, see what that is. El avión. I'm not sure if you could actually hear the voice, but it is saying that out loud right now. Let me turn up the volume a little bit.
El avión.
Hopefully you can hear that. So again, you can click on the English. So the idea here is that you just go through and listen to all these. You're getting familiar with the activity, right? So here we can go return to activities. If we want to go back to that home page, we can click up over here on either VHL Central or just the Vistas, and that'll take us back to the dashboard. Okay, so we can click start again. And again, these are all just, these are the various vocabulary things. So you can just click play here if you want. You could go through individually, or you could play.
El invierno, diciembre, enero, febrero. La primavera.
Okay, so it will go through on its own. If you click it that way, you can play it fast, you can play it default, you can play it slower, whatever. You can always look at the English. There's all kinds of stuff here. And again, you have the page numbers here. So the way that this class is set up is there are video lectures that I do for YouTube on YouTube that will cover grammar only. The vocabulary, you have all of these types of activities. So you just do these on your own. As you can see, there's plenty of them. So you see there's another one here, and it goes through all the things. If you click on them,
Febrero.
and it tells you the month and etc. Okay, so there's all this sort of preparatory work, all listening. You're gonna want to spend some time with these things, okay? And then finally is if we keep going here, just keep clicking on next activity, we get to some grammar activities here. This would be, you'd always want to watch these tutorials. Actually, this is just reading. So you'd look at this stuff, you'd read these pages, X those out, go to next activity. Those are just, this is the tutorial. So you'd want to watch this.
Hola.
So this guy will give you a tutorial on the grammar stuff. And this also goes along with the videos that I post on YouTube. So you get twice the input. And then you get to some actual activities, okay? Actually, not yet. These are still more vocab. So I'm trying to get us to an actual activity so you can see. So you keep going to activities. These are just more input. So you listen to all these, all right? Again, more input, más vocabulario. So it looks like that's all that's due actually for the 6th. So there was no actually activities. So here you would click on the 7th and you could go ahead and start doing some actual activities, right? So here you could say start. And again, it's more vocabulary, just a bunch of input, and then some activities would start, okay? So it tells you how many attempts you have up here. So it tells you 1 left. So you would go through and do this. If you, after you submit it, it would tell you if anything was wrong and you could do it again. It's really it's really quite self-explanatory. Here, there would be another activity. This is a listening activity. You would listen here and then indicate the answers. And then we get to some grammar stuff, okay? So here, you actually start typing in. A lot of times, what I want to show you here is how to put accent marks, because here, for instance, we're using the verb estar. Estar often has an accent mark. So I'll find one that uses it. So it would be ellas, right? So if we're typing here and we want to put están and there's an accent over the A, you just hover over this little guy, you click on it, and you see that there are all the various options for accents, the ñ here, the upside down question mark and exclamation point. So you just click on that and it inserts it there. You can exit out, put it like that, because it will take off points for if there should be an accent there and you don't put it, okay? Also, if you ever have questions down here, you can say, ask your instructor, And you can click on any of the areas where you have a question. So say on number 6, you didn't understand, you could click on it. You can say, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do here. The more specific you can be, the better. And then you click submit. I check the Supersite regularly, so I'll respond to you there. Okay, you can do that at anything. So if we go back here, and we just have different activities for the la pronunciación, you're going to need to record some stuff. Okay, so here it says click each item to hear the pronunciation, record yourself repeating the word, then compare your pronunciation with the speakers. So it's a whole process. This is how I can listen to you to see how your Spanish is developing. So these are important. Everything has a built-in microphone these days, your phones, your computers, what have you. If you're having a hard time with that, you'll just need to figure something out, some sort of a device that has that. And you can let me know if you're having issues. So if we want to go back to the dashboard, we can go here. And I just want to show you all one more thing. And that is up here, the calendar. Okay, so this is the calendar for the entire semester. So there's no assignments in January because school starts at the end. So again, for this asynchronous class, as I explained in the syllabus, which was in the first video, the homework is always due on Sundays. All right, but in any other class, you might have it scattered throughout the week, whatever, but it will tell you in the calendar, it will tell you how many assignments are due, if there are quizzes or tests due. So for instance, here, and the amount of time, the estimated amount of time it's going to take. So you can see it's not an incredible amount of time each week. This is for an entire week's worth of work. It's usually about 2 hours for the entire week. And the whole semester will be set out there. Okay, so you can go to March, see the same thing. Okay, it's usually around, sometimes you might have a bigger one, 2.5 hours, but that's for the entire week. And you can go to any of these by, I definitely don't recommend going ahead, but this is also a way to get to your cluster of assignments. If you wanted, you could click on here and it'll take you there. It'll take you where you, actually to the very beginning, right? And it'll show you what you've already done, what you haven't. So, okay, so I want to keep this video nice and short. I think that's enough for now. So I'll be making some more videos throughout the semester on specifics. So any questions you have, please send me an email. Gracias.